Hi, Gene Monterastelli here, the editor of tappingqanda.com. The video that you are about to watch is a conversation that was a part of this year's 24 Hours of Tapping. The 24 Hours of Tapping is a fundraiser for the amazing work that is done by the Peaceful Heart Network. The Peaceful Heart Network has brought tapping to migrants, refugees, prisoners, and the underprivileged in over 30 countries all over the world. As you watch this video, if you learned something, if you were touched by it, if you were inspired by it, the easiest way to say thank you is to support the work of the Peaceful Heart Network. To do that, all you need to do is go to 24hoursoftapping.com/support. And as you look in the description and the first comment down below, you will see a direct link to that. I hope you enjoy this conversation.
Thanks back, everyone. So we are absolutely blessed to have our next speaker with us as well. And again, exactly what Jean said. It's fabulous being on this end where we get to do the tapping. So I hope you're enjoying that as well. We have with us now Marguerita Vorobioff. I hope I get that right. And Marguerita is a conscious business and mindset coach, light worker, and EFT tapping practitioner, author, and speaker. Her mission is to help people activate the power within them by clearing the limiting stories and belief systems so they can step into their power and claim their freedom. Everyone deserves to live life on their terms, and when you change your mindset, everything changes. I'm so excited to have this conversation. So welcoming to the digital stage, Marguerita. There you are.
Hello. Hello, Peter. I am so honoured and excited to be a part of this incredible initiative. Thank you. I'm honoured to meet you. I'm in awe of the people, the amazing people who you have in this container. It's just amazing. So, and I was loving tapping along before on, tapping with Naomi for winning lotto. I'm like, yeah, cool.
Well, we're going to take it another step with your conversation now. And do I see that we have a pet floating around in the background? Pets
yes. He's just been there's a greyhound down there and there's a cattle dog down there. And I'm thinking, please, Charlie, please just lie down and just be quiet.
They will be fine. They love tapping. We tap on our puppy.
They do. Look, absolutely. He's very old.
We are going to have a conversation now about activating this power within that I talked about in your bio, and being unstoppable. I just think, let's take it to the next level here. But can I ask first, what do you mean by the power within and being unstoppable? Let's define that to start with.
Well, I come from the space of we are all infinitely powerful. We come from universal source. We are divine source energy incarnated in this amazing human container experience. We are spirit incarnate here on this planet. And the late, great Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say that you must be like that which you came from. And that we come from source energy, which is the infinite source of all power. So we contain within us this incredible power to be anything we choose to be in any given moment. So, of course, we are playing in a realm that has certain constrictions on certain things, but we have no awareness of what we are literally capable of on this planet when we if you start diving into being a multi-dimensional being and into the multiverse and you start embracing those concepts, it's like, that is really next level. But from the perspective of playing with the infinite power that we have in each and every one of us, if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can imagine it, you can become it. It's all about taking off, just taking off the conditions that you have put on yourself or that society has put on you, and daring to imagine what could be possible if you just stopped saying, I can't, or it's not possible. Or if you stopped imposing these things that society has decided that is impossible. And if you think about, I was just thinking about this a few days ago, if you think about 200 or 300 years ago, the technology that we play with now. 200 or 300 years ago, if you had told somebody the kind of concepts of, of what an iPhone is, or a smartphone is, or what a computer is, or us doing this on the internet, like speaking to somebody on the other side of the world, they would have gone, yeah, we're going to lock you up, baby. You're just insane.
Right.
Now, 200 years ago, they didn't have the technology to achieve it. It didn't mean it wasn't possible. The infrastructure wasn't yet in place, but it was possible. So, and within us, we have this unimaginable power that is just bursting to come out. And I think that when we start to embrace that and embody that we start to see just what could be possible if we start playing in that realm.
So I'm very excited about the whole topic, but what's the first step someone could take? Like, is it about, do I imagine I'm going to embrace that and see what comes up and then use my tapping? Like, what normally happens, if you might be inviting a client to participate in this, or someone sitting at home going, I want to do this for myself. What's the best way to come at this?
From my perspective, it is defining what you want.
Right.
Not what you want from what you think is possible, but most people have never actually been game enough to articulate what they really want, because what they do is they go, well, I really want this, but that's not possible. Or it might be possible for somebody else and it's not possible for me. So I'm going to go for this instead. I'm going to dumb it down because I'm afraid to be disappointed. I'm afraid to fail. I'm afraid to look like a fool. I'm afraid to sound like an idiot. I'm just afraid of what's on the other side. What if it doesn't happen? And I'm like, well, but what if it does? So you can't achieve it unless you dare to at least entertain the possibility. Now, if you want to be a billionaire, then why not? You have to put strategies in place. You have to be willing to do the work and to become the kind of person who could be a billionaire, which is a journey. And you don't want to say, well, I want to be a billionaire and I'm going to do it in a year. Okay, so anything is possible, but how about we set you up for success and we say instead that I want to be a billionaire, but I'm going to build this amazing company over the next 10 years so it has $1 billion value, or it has $1 billion turnover. But you've got to be clear about your intention. You've got to dare to dream it. And, having really looked at and studied a few billionaires, I'm not sure I really want to be a billionaire because there's a bit of stress involved. And they're a lot more sort of willing to take risks that I'm not really up for. But then again, if I decided to become a billionaire, I would grow into the person who was willing to be more of a risk taker, who was able to stand the pressure, who was, able to stand in a boardroom and go toe to toe with the best of the best in the world, that kind of thing. But you've got to set the intention and then dare to just take the first step, and then just take the next step, and then just take the next step, and just embrace the journey of becoming whoever the person is who would be able to achieve that magnificent dream you have. But unleash your magnificent dream, because you are so magnificent. You are so amazing. You are capable of so much more than you have ever given yourself credit for. And once you just put a toe in the water and feel what that feels like, and then just sort of start to glide with it, it begins to unfold. And I'm not saying it's all sunshine, rainbows and unicorns. It's very messy. I mean, the journey of success is very messy. Life is messy. So you've kind of got to embrace the mess, embrace the chaos, and just know that any challenge that comes your way, you are bigger than any challenge you will ever face. And that every challenge, every problem, every setback is an opportunity for you to become a bigger, grander, greater version of you. and an invitation by the universe to say, no, you've got more. I know you've got more. Come on, you've got more. You can do this. You can do this.
So I've got the intention. I understand about got to take the action. Is tapping supporting me like through each of those steps, as in what might be coming up could be a limiting belief, or I don't know, I remember something. Like, is that the kind of intersect of how tapping can support this intention or goal or whatever we want to call it that is out there that is going to embrace my true self? Is that what we're
Absolutely.
doing here?
That's how I work with it. So when I work with my clients is that they have these big dreams, and inevitably all their fears, their doubts, their limiting beliefs, their blocks, their stories, all the stuff comes up along the way. And it's amazing how when you dare to dream big, a dream that is scary, a dream that seems completely impossible, it's amazing how quickly the crap comes up to be released. And, you know, the more action you take, the more this stuff comes up. And sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I've just taken 3 steps backwards. No. You're letting go of this, or you're letting go of the rubbish, and your stuff is coming up. So the universe says to you, oh, you want to be a multimillionaire? Oh, Lordy. Okay, girlfriend. In order to be a multimillionaire, you got to let go of all this trauma, of all this, you know, belief that happened when you were a child, and your teacher said to you, oh, you're an idiot, you're never going to amount to anything, and you've still got that running around in your head 20, 30, 40 years later, then something will happen to bring that up. And it is an opportunity to release and let go of whatever is your anchor that is holding you back from stepping into being the most powerful version of you. And this is where it gets messy. So, but it's embracing it. No, it's not a step back. It's an opportunity to release whatever isn't serving you, releasing whatever is keeping you anchored in that small version of you that is telling you that it's not safe, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it.
Yeah, and I'm really coming back to this word that you said, and I'm wondering, so I'm asking your advice. Is fear the most common thing there? That if what's holding people back or sitting on this side of the fence and the dreams over this side, is that the most common feeling that we're noticing, or like fear of success, fear of failure? Is it fear, or is there other things in there that are really common that come up here with taking that step?
It's a combination. So there's fear is the big one. So the 3 things that I say that everything goes back to, it's not safe. That's the fear. I'm not good enough. Yeah. I don't deserve it. So I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. It's kind of similar, but there is enough distinction that separates them out. So, but it's also, there is the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of change, the fear of loss, the fear of rejection, the fear of negative consequences. But then there's that fear that I'm not good enough, or the lack of self-worth, the lack of self-confidence, the I don't deserve it piece. So there's the fear, and then there's the I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough, the lack of self-confidence, the lack of belief that stops people from even trying, which, you know, I just think if everybody in this world just understood just the smallest piece of how amazing you are, how beautiful you are, how extraordinary you are, how powerful you are, what a beautiful, powerful soul you are, incarnate in this magical, illusionary experience, because I think this audience kind of knows that we are sort of in this holographic projection that we are creating moment by moment. And we are the co-creators of this. This is what I love, Peter, is the fact that I still can't wrap my head around the fact that I am so powerful that I'm actually co-creating my daily experience. And sometimes I sit back and I go, why the hell did I just create this? Like, if I'm so damn powerful,
what does it do?
But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm powerful enough to create this, then I'm powerful enough to create the solution on the other side of this. So let's go.
And it's a nice way to reframe it, isn't it? To sort of, rather than kind of go, oh, why did this happen? Or even, why did I do that? Go, oh, okay, I had the power to do that. So therefore I have the power to do the opposite or do something different. And I think there's great freedom almost in looking at it like that, even if you have stuffed up or made a mistake or something like that.
Absolutely. And embracing the unfolding and embracing the imperfection and embracing the chaos and the failure and looking at it going, wow, that was really stupid. Wish I hadn't done that. But now that I have, how about we go about and fix it?
Yeah, it's solution focused. Yeah.
We all do stupid things. And to sit there and beat yourself up for how long are you going to beat yourself up for? Like, okay, you did it. It happened. Might not have been your most intelligent moment or the moment that you're most proud of. But let's just deal with it. Let's deal with the fallout and then think, what did I learn from that? What did I learn about my behavior? And why did I even go there? So you unpack it, you go back to the fact that everything starts with a belief and then that develops into your thoughts, your feelings, then your actions, then your results. It's kind of like, well, I took this action. There was a belief underlying this action. If I sabotaged myself, if I did something that created something that I don't want, there was an underlying belief behind all of that. So let's go find it. Because once I eliminate that belief, and that is the big challenge, I think, with EFT tapping, is finding that core belief, that thing that's causing us to behave in a particular way or believe whatever it is that we believe that causes our results. And once we can find that, then we have the ability to create absolute magic. We have the ability to create so much magic in this planet.
So exciting. Let's give it a go, because I know everyone listening is like, let's give it a go. How would we start? Like if we were going to do a demo now, and I'm happy to be your echo, what would you ask me and how would we start this?
Okay, so if you dare to dream your biggest dream, I want every listener right now to think about if you could do, be, and have anything right now,
Right.
what would it be?
Yep.
Okay, so on a scale of 0 to 10, how possible do you think it is that you can achieve that?
So 10 out of 10 possibility would be the most possibility here?
Yes.
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 Yeah. So we're going, right?
So you want to be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then 0 would be, and then you can, beyond that, you can unpack it and go, well, why don't I think it's possible? And what am I really afraid of? And all that kind of stuff. But just for this demonstration, how possible do you think it is? So we'll start by tapping on the side of the hand.
Do you want to know what mine is, Marguerita? I don't mind if I share it.
Yeah, okay, go.
So everyone's going to laugh. I would like the American Psychological Association to accept our report of EFT being evidence-based. And at the moment, it's sitting there and it hasn't been accepted. So there you go. There's my big dream.
Okay,
So,
all right.
My possibility rating was 6 out of 10, just so that you know.
6 out of 10? Okay, all right, let's work with that. So tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I have my doubts about this dream and this vision.
Even though I have my doubts about this dream and this vision.
And how possible I think it might be.
And how possible I think it might be.
I deeply and completely love and accept all of me.
Love and accept all of me.
Even though I have serious doubts.
Even though I have serious doubts.
About being able to achieve this vision.
About being able to achieve this vision.
I choose to love, honour and accept.
I choose to love, honour and accept.
Who I am and how I feel right now.
Who I am and how I feel right now.
Even though this seems almost impossible.
This seems almost impossible. True.
I'd love to think it is possible.
I'd love to think it is possible.
But there's part of me that has serious doubts.
There's part of me that has serious doubts.
I love and accept all of me right now.
I love and accept all of me right now.
This is a big dream.
This is a big dream.
It would mean so much to me.
It would mean so much to me.
But it just doesn't seem possible.
But it just doesn't seem possible.
I can't see how it's going to happen.
I can't see how it's going to happen.
There's so many variables.
There's so many variables.
I don't know if it's possible for me.
I don't know if it's possible for me.
I'm reluctant to dream this big vision.
I'm reluctant to dream this big vision.
Because what if I get disappointed?
Because what if I get disappointed?
What if it doesn't work out?
What if it doesn't work out?
What if it doesn't happen?
What if it doesn't happen?
I can't face the disappointment.
I can't face the disappointment.
But what if it is possible?
But what if it is possible?
What if my big dream is possible?
What if my big dream is possible?
What if I am capable of achieving this?
What if I'm capable of achieving this?
What if there's something that I haven't thought of yet
What if there's something I haven't thought of yet
that could influence the ultimate outcome?
that could influence the ultimate outcome?
What if I can create magic?
What if I can create some magic?
What if I'm actually magical?
What if I'm actually magical?
What if I'm working with the magic of the universe?
What if I'm working with the magic of the universe?
What if anything is possible?
What if anything is possible?
What if I am capable of achieving anything?
What if I'm capable of achieving anything?
I choose to know that I am capable of achieving anything.
I choose to know that I am capable of achieving anything.
I choose to know that I can create magic.
I choose to know that I can create magic.
I choose to know that I am infinitely powerful.
I choose to know that I am infinitely powerful.
I am infinitely powerful.
I am infinitely powerful.
I am source energy.
I am source energy.
I am capable of creating anything.
I am capable of creating anything.
I choose to know I am unstoppable.
I choose to know I am unstoppable.
I am unstoppable.
I am unstoppable.
I can create anything I put my mind to.
I can create anything I put my mind to.
Even this massive, huge, impossible dream.
Even this massive, huge, impossible dream.
What if it is possible?
What if it is possible?
I relax, allow, lean in and let go.
I relax, allow, lean in and let go.
I allow the magic of the universe to unfold.
I allow the magic of the universe to unfold.
I choose to know anything is possible.
I choose to know anything is possible.
I choose to be the person
I choose to be the person
who makes the impossible possible.
who makes the impossible possible.
I'm a magical human being
I'm a magical human being
working with the magic of the universe.
working with the magic of the universe.
And I know anything is possible for me.
And I know anything is possible for me.
So deep breath.
Oh, so good. That was amazing. Lots of things were kind of flying around in my head. I love that word, the magic of the universe. Like that kind of really, I was like, yeah, like, you know, just connecting in and working with maybe, you know, ideas I haven't thought of yet or things like that. That was really good.
Awesome. Well, and then coming back to your particular vision, it's like thinking about, okay, so from the outcome, if you were to get that accepted by the Psychological Association in the United States, then my question would be, what is the consequence of that? What are the ongoing effects of that? And the question is, are there other ways to achieve that you haven't thought about it yet? So the reason you want that outcome is so you have a specific influence. You have, once it's accepted by the Psychological Association, then it's like it's more mainstream, more people will embrace it. Well, what if there's another way to have the mainstream embrace it that doesn't require the influence of the Psychological Association? So it's looking at it and then going, well, maybe there's other ways to achieve the result, because the ultimate result isn't just getting the Psychological Association to accept it. It's then the impact that has. And things like what you're doing right here with Jean, I mean, hats off to Jean and you guys and everybody who's doing this, because you are getting this out mainstream. It is being accepted. So, it's like you kind of want to do it.
It's a fabulous question. And don't worry, I've asked myself that in the middle of the night. Good. It's a really good question. I like that angle of, but are there other roads to ultimately, for that particular example, it's about the evidence-based title. So it's about that, and they happen to own that title. But it's like, definitely even tapping and using some of those phrases, which were just fantastic. I hope you've got those somewhere that people can go and get access to, because they were just gold. Some of the words that I couldn't even write them down because I wanted to write them down. I'll have to go back and listen so I can write down those phrases. Yeah, just, we forget sometimes it's not about the way we think, and if we relax and we calm everything down, other ideas can come to mind, and it doesn't have to be the solution we thought or the way we thought, the path we thought. And that's what was sort of coming up for me as we were doing that, kind of going, it's not always about what you think it's about. So
absolutely. And that's where I love the work when we combine this work with because I'm the woo-woo chick. I love woo-woo. And
we're all woo-woo. Don't worry, we're all woo-woo.
Good. I'm in the right company. Awesome. So when I start to think about, what would this mean? This would mean that it creates this. So what do you really want to create? And then, because you can be taken down the most unexpected routes and journeys that you think it's going to be this way. And then it ends up being this way, and you're like, whoa, I never expected that. It's like, I couldn't have even imagined that. Yeah. And you just get taken on this journey. So it's not being too rigid. It's allowing yourself to have the vision, the outcome. Like, what if 2 billion people became EFT tappers in the world? What if they just became EFT tappers? What if the mainstream adoption of tapping actually made the Psychology Association go, yeah, okay, we're going to have to accept it now because everybody's doing it.
Oh, they're going to do it reluctantly, don't you worry.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's fine. Totally. I think the path is not always the one we think. It could be like, this other kind of curly bit there. Hey, I would love to hear, because I love stories. It's how I keep my students engaged. Do you have, without disclosing details, any stories of maybe clients that you've worked with that have, had these big visions and done the work, and then what became possible?
Look, I've got so many people who it's really interesting when like one lady who recently started working with me, and when I start working with people, I see so much potential in them. And my dog's going for a wander. But I see so much potential in them, and it's just finding that peace, that fear, that doubt, that limiting belief. And one lady in particular that I started working with really, really recently, she was kind of like, she just couldn't get her business off the ground. And I said, okay, let's set a big intention for the next, I think we set it for like 4 months. And she went, wow, that'd be really amazing. And then we started the work, and she achieved it within a month. It was incredible. But as soon as she gave herself permission, this is another thing, this is a really important piece. As soon as you give yourself permission to just dream it and then go for it, you will be amazed of what you are capable of. And, not everybody does it that fast, but it's incredible once you start to embrace that power within you. And other people who have, they may just be starting a business, or another client who was already working, she already had a good base of clients, but she just really wanted to take it to the next level, and helping her to expand her business, but do it in a way that she was in flow. So instead of the hustle and the grind that is such a dominant piece of so many success formulas, it's like, no, I can't do that stuff. I just can't. I tried, and it was just painful beyond imagination. So I went, okay, so how can this be something that's joyful, that I'm in flow, that I just love what I'm doing, and I get to play each and every day doing what I love, and then I get to embrace the unfolding. And that's the way I like to work with people and say, yeah, there's going to be work involved. If you want to go from $100,000 to $250,000 or $1 million, yeah, there's work involved, and there's things that you have to do, and there's things that you need to put in place. But let's make it as fun and as joyful as possible, and let's work with who you are and your unique gifts, talents, capabilities. You know, everything that you were born with on this planet. You came here with this these incredible gifts and this unconscious competence. Let's unpack that, and let's use that, leverage that to get you in flow, to make a contribution to the world, because we're all here to be of service. We're all here to make a contribution. And let's see how we can create a formula that actually helps the money to come back to you in flow as a result of you leveraging your core genius, your superpowers, being the best version of you can possibly be, and living the best life possible. And at the same time, you're changing the world. It's like there couldn't be anything better than that in my world anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm thinking of, you mentioned the late, great Wayne Dyer, and one of the last books that he wrote before he transitioned was where he collected stories of mums and dads with little ones that were still young enough that he got them to ask, he just put it out there in his community, asked the question of the little ones, and they were like 2-3 years old. They could talk. Where do you remember coming from? And if anyone hasn't read this book, I can't even remember the title. You've absolutely got to read it. It's like, I think it's called Lessons from Heaven or something like that. And he wrote it with his daughter. And these little ones, up to about the age of 4, could tell you where they came from, and they all described what we would probably label as heaven. And it's reminding me of what you're talking about, that kind of source. This book was brilliant. And even my young teenager has read this and just, tears rolling down her face. And one story in there struck me where a mum could hear her 2 little ones having a bath, and they were chatting to each other, and she hears the older one, who's 5, say to the 3.5-year-old sister, Sally, remind me, I'm starting to forget. She was starting to forget the memories of where she came from, which was what we describe as heaven. She was asking her little sister to remind her, because it was like, you're starting to grow, the brain's starting to develop, life's starting to happen. And she's like, remind me, I'm starting to forget. And it's like, you're reminding us in this moment of, whatever it is that you want to attribute that to, but that either, universal magic, inner, internal magic, some people like to see it as that it's there. It's just we've forgotten. We've forgotten it's present. And if you haven't read that book of Wayne Dyer, someone go and Google Memories from Heaven, I think it's called. Just a collection of stories of the little ones that they all tell you the same thing. I'm like, I have a niece at the moment who's like 3.5. I'm about to get her in a corner. I'm about to ask her. I might video it. So
I'd love that. Would be amazing. Yes.
I'll hold myself to that one, everyone. So yeah, such a good book. But you're reminding us that it's there. We forget sometimes, don't we? And we do forget, and we get limited, and we get kind of boxed in, and we do the grind and Groundhog Day and forget to have fun.
Absolutely. Because we have such a tactile experience of this world, which is actually it's just an energetic experience. And we know from quantum science that none of this exists. It's just this holographic energetic projection. It's kind of like we're imagining it. And then we think we have these boundaries, but then when we start to, open up to and think, but wait a minute, I'm multidimensional, and I come from the multiverse, and and it's just like, what if anything really is possible? If anything's really possible, then what if I could do this, and what if I could do that? And I mean, I've manifested some of the most amazing things in my life and not realized, like, I've had it on a vision board, and then a few years later gone, oh my God, I had a house really like this on my vision board and I'm actually living in it. Holy dooly. And I kind of didn't see how it unfolded along the way, but Spirit really led me here. Like, Spirit is leading us every step of the way. We just got to listen and take the action on the inspiration that we receive, because we are being supported every step of the way. Life is not happening to us. It is happening for us. And if we just lean into that, one of the favorite phrases I tapped was relax, allow, lean in, and let go.
Yes, relax, I wanted to write that down. I'm going to write that one down. Say it again. Marguerita, say it again.
Relax, allow, lean in, let go. Just say it twice with me. I know we're running out of time, but relax, allow, lean in, let go. Do you feel how the energy just shifts?
Oh, brilliant. Such a good note to actually end on. And if anyone in the Northern Hemisphere is waking up and joining us, we absolutely hope that you felt a bit of that magic. And if not, please rewind back and watch the recording so that everyone can enjoy this again and again and again. It's been an absolute joy to connect and meet you for the first time. You're in my part of the world, so just brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, letting me have an experience. I love it. I can't wait to go home, do some more. That's so fabulous.
Thank you so much.
I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and that maybe we'll connect again. I'm going to bring Jean back and see you again later. Bye.
If you found this interview inspiring, I would encourage you to support the Peaceful Heart Network by going to 24hoursoftapping.com/support or clicking the link in the description. And you will see on the screen right now a playlist to all of the interviews from this year's and last year's 24 Hours of Tapping. I hope you enjoyed those as well.